Join me this weekend as I hike alone into the remote river wilderness of northern New South Wales. With 2 days to explore the area, I trek deep into some untamed country in search of solitude, adventure, and to target one of my all-time favourite fish species. That is exactly what we came here for. Well, I reckon this might do tonight. We got a really nice little grassy meadow. Not a bad little camp spot. For tonight's dinner, we've got some Scotch fillet tacos. Wow, these look delicious. Well, g'day guys, welcome back out for another yonder. And this time we're up in northern New South Wales and out in some Murray Cod country. So I'm in an area I've never been to before and I'm super keen to explore. So we've got about a 5 kilometre walk ahead of us and it's midday now. So I'm pretty keen to get that behind me and then we'll try and find ourselves a nice little camp spot beside the river somewhere upstream. And then for the rest of the afternoon, I'm pretty keen to get a line in. So I might spend the afternoon fishing for some Murray Cod and then, yeah, we'll cook up a bit of dinner a little later. But anyway, I'm super keen to see this river and I hope you'll enjoy coming along with me. So let's get into it. I've just pulled in off the trail behind this tree here, and just up there there's 3 large goats. We'll see if we can sneak up on them. I can smell them from here, which means I'm downwind, so they haven't noticed me yet, so I'll just sneak up and see if we can get a closer look. Let's see if they notice me. Oh, well that was pretty cool. There was 3 large goats and they didn't notice me till I was probably like 4 meters away, eh? One of them just turned its head and as soon as they saw me, they spooked. But pretty cool to see. It's a shame that they're out here. They shouldn't be here, but I mean, out west it's just full of feral deer and feral goats, so it's to be expected, unfortunately. But anyway, let's continue on and head on down this hill. Oh, well, I've just started to get my first glimpse of the river here and man, she's an absolute cracker, eh? Such a gorgeous little system, or big system really. Anyway, I'm very keen to go down the bottom and take a closer look. Let's get on with it. Alrighty guys, well I've just dropped down into the river and man, this is such a nice little spot here. The river's pretty big, bigger than what I thought it would be actually, and yeah, you've got these huge big grassy riverbanks. It's making for a nice little walk and I think we're going to have a good afternoon fishing along here. So what I might do is just get the rod together and then yeah, we'll work our way upstream and explore this section of river. So yeah, let's get the rod together. For this trip, because we're targeting cod, I'm going to be using the bait caster. So I've just got this 4-piece Samaki rod, and that's paired up with this Tatula 200. So I think it should be a pretty good kit to target some Murray cod. Alrighty guys, well I've just set up the rod and I'm going to be running a little surface walker just to begin with. I actually did myself a complete mischief and I left my cod lures at home, so I don't have much to work with. I actually had to buy this lure on the way because yeah, all my other lures are left at home, so I only have this and a little paddle tail. So anyway, that was my mistake, but yeah, hopefully we can pick something up on this. I don't have real long to fish because the afternoon's really slipped away now, so I've probably got maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to fish, and then I should really get back and set up camp. So anyway, that should be long enough, so let's go give it a go. Alright, well not much luck so far, although we haven't been fishing real long either. But what I think I might do is I'll grab the pack and we'll head up to that next pool up there. I can see there's some really cool geography, so it'd be quite nice to poke our heads up there and see if we can find a camp spot underneath those big cliffs. That'd be pretty nice. So anyway, let's go have a poke around and we'll see what we can find. Oh man, just how unreal is this landscape? So cool. Feels like I'm in the proper outback right now. Alrighty guys, well I've come around the corner here and man, it's a cracking little gorge. Really picturesque. I'm definitely keen to come back and fish here hard in the morning, but for now, because of how dark it's getting, I might just go back to that grassy riverbank and set up the tent there. I mean, I could keep searching for a better camp spot, but honestly it's that late at the moment that yeah, I think I'm better off just setting up camp early, and then if we get things sorted with enough time I can fish again a bit later in the evening. So anyway, let's go back to that grassy spot and we'll set up the tent. Alright, well I reckon this might do tonight. We got a really nice little grassy meadow and someone's already put together a fireplace for us as well, so might make use of that. Not a bad little camp spot. I think with the wind being set back from the river in this grassy little corner might actually be nice. So yeah, I'll just get to work setting up the tent and then yeah, we'll get a fire going. Alrighty guys, well tent's all set up now and we've still got maybe 45 minutes till it's dark, so it gives me a little bit of time to try and get a Murray cod. So I might just grab the rod and we'll flick this pool in front a little bit more and then get into dinner a little bit later. It's a bit of a shame today. I actually had intended to go somewhere a bit further north, but when I arrived there, I was met with this sign that basically the whole area was closed for aerial baiting. And normally I do go on the website and I check, you know, you can go on the National Parks website and see whether there's any alerts for that park. And I did actually do that, but I did it 2 days ago. So of course, the aerial baiting has come in and it started from now for the next 3 weeks in the area that I had wanted to go to, which is really my oversight. But just always remember, you can go into alerts, but you need to make sure don't just look at today's alerts, look at the alerts for whenever you're going, whether it be a week or a month's time, because yeah, it set me back a fair bit today. I'd rocked up to that place at around 7 AM and my plan was to just start fishing and spend pretty much all day fishing, and then I had to race back and of course come up with a plan B, and by that point I'd wasted half the day before I found this spot, and this spot was a bit more of a walk than I'd anticipated as well, so that's why we've sort of lost the light quickly today. But anyway, what can you do? I'm still happy to be down here, and yeah, we've still got a bit of time left, so let's just go have a quick fish and we'll see what we can come up with. Well, believe it or not, but just then when I was setting up the camera, I actually saw a Murray Cod stir and he sort of pushed down to this deeper water. But man, that was pretty cool, so good to know they're here. Let's see if we can get onto one. Alrighty guys, unfortunately no luck on the Murray Cod, and that sun's just dipped below the horizon, so might go back and we'll get a fire going and get dinner on. I'm pretty stoked with what I've seen this afternoon though. It was nice just to give this area a bit of a scope out, just because tomorrow morning I have a better idea. So yeah, I think tomorrow morning, if things go to plan, we should get onto them, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, let's go back to camp and we'll chuck some grub on. Not a bad little spot, that's for sure. Very, very nice little meadow to ourselves here. Anyway, let's get a fire going. Alright, well, before I get into dinner, I just crack open a cold one and wash down the day. It's been a bit of a rushed afternoon getting in here, so I still haven't quite eased into the night yet. So I'm pretty keen just to maybe take 10 and yeah, have a beer and just chill out. Such a nice spot. I just need to yeah, soak it in a bit. Alright guys, well for tonight's dinner we've got some Scotch fillet tacos at the suggestion of Cheryl. So we're going to do up a really simple salsa. Now I've got a Scotch fillet to go on, pre-seasoned with some taco mix, and then we've got some other little things to go on top as well. So I think it should be a pretty yummy dinner. Anyway, let's get into it. To start with, I'm just going to chop up the ingredients for the salsa. So I've pretty much just got a tomato and a cucumber to chop up. Now I'm just going to chuck the grill on and I'm just going to char the sweet corn to go in the salsa as well. Well, that corn charred up nicely, so the salsa is now all done. Alright, now let's get this steak on. Very keen for a bit of Scotch fillet. Alright, let's find out how well I cook this steak. Oh, it's a bit overdone, but considering it's been sitting in my pack in some hot heat, I might let that slide. So I did actually put taco spice on that Scotch fillet, so I'm hoping it's going to taste alright. First up, I'll just get a bit of the salsa on the bottom there. And then I'll chuck a couple of these bits of steak just on there. And a little bit of salt on the steak. A lot of salt. Generous amount of cheese. Some tzatziki. And then just to top it off, I've just got some crispy shallots I'll sprinkle on the top as well. Oh, delicious. Well, can't not be happy with that. They look absolutely delicious, so very keen to rip into those. Oh man, tell you what, feels bloody good to be winding down next to a fire and ripping into dinner. If there's one thing I do well in these trips, it's making sure I get a good bite to eat before I go to bed, and makes a world of difference the next day. Oh, but I'm stoked to be here now. It definitely was a rushed afternoon, but yeah, I was very lucky to stumble onto this nice little grassy patch right at the very bottom of the walk, because I could have been in trouble if I had to search for a camp spot. The days sort of creep away from you in winter when the sun sets at 6 p.m. and you got to rush around to try and find a camp before dark. It can be, yeah, pretty difficult sometimes. But pretty stoked with this spot, and I think in the morning I'm hoping we'll have some more luck on the fishing. Oh man, this is a solid 7.5 out of 10, I reckon. Probably could have done with a little bit more seasoning on the steak, and I did overcook it, but the flavors are unreal. And those crispy shallots, I think, definitely improved the texture. Alright guys, well, all done with dinner, and man, that was excellent. So, might just sit back, watch the stars, and catch up with you guys again in the morning. Hooroo. Oh man, I'm shaking a little bit because I just missed a really good Murray Cod. Oh man, the strike was so insane, and then I felt the weight for like a second and then the hook must have just pulled, but oh, that is bloody exciting. So let's keep quietly fishing upstream and hopefully we can make up for it. Well, you wouldn't believe it, but there we go. Just pulled out a beautiful little Murray Cod. And that is exactly what we came here for. Oh, you ripper. Ew. Oh man, well, that was a big relief getting that cod. I thought I might not have gotten a second chance after missing that first fish, but yeah, sure enough, the cast out behind a little rock in the middle of the pool and the cod was just sitting there in the back eddy. Unfortunately, I didn't get on film, but it was cool. I could see the cod just following it all the way along, and then midway along the pool, when I had about 3 meters of line left, he just whacked it. That's why these guys are just so much fun. Just that initial hit and the adrenaline you get with it is just what makes Murray cod fishing so enjoyable to me. Anyway, we've still got a bit of the early morning to fish, so I might try and get onto a bigger model. Let's get back into it. Alrighty guys, well, back at camp now, and I'd say that was a pretty successful morning. We missed one good fish at the start of the morning, but then got onto them in the end, so got to be happy about that. Anyway, what I might do, it's about 9 o'clock now, so I'm pretty keen to get brekkie on, and that wind's picked up a fair bit now anyway, so the fishing's probably going to be not so good here on out. But yeah, I might just see if there's enough embers to get the fire going and we'll get a coffee on. And then for brekkie this morning, I've actually got some pancakes, so super keen to rip into those. And I'm bloody hungry, so let's get the fire going. Oh, feels good to sit back and have a coffee. I'm super glad I got into the fishing this morning. It was super still this morning, but just now the wind's really starting to pick up. If it gets any worse, I might have to put the fire out, which will be alright because I got the stove, but for now it's okay. Alrighty, now it's time for some pancakes. Let's get this grill on. Well, for the pancakes this morning, I've just got these buttermilk pancakes. Yeah, just gonna add the water to that, and now I've got a banana to go on top, so pretty keen. I haven't actually done pancakes before while camping, so keen to give it a go, and hopefully it turns out alright. That's nearly perfection. Well, I think next time I do pancakes, I definitely need to bring a spatula. It's not very easy using a spoon, but I am happy with how these are turning out. Oh man, these pancakes turned out absolutely prime. So what I might do is just chuck this other stuff on there and then rip into it. I think I might have just ended up with an end there. Wow. That looks good. We have done such a good job on these pancakes. Oh, I can't wait to rip into this. Oh, well, this feels like a little bit of a victory feast. We got onto a cod. I've had a bloody horrible time the past couple of trips trying to get into fish. Just every time something's gone wrong, whether it be the wind or the river levels or whatever it is, I just haven't managed to get onto fish the past couple of trips, and it's been playing on me. Started to feel like I was a crap fisherman. And then of course this trip I forgot my bloody lures. Oh, rookie mistake, but thankfully I must have picked a good one at the store, because yeah, 2 hits and we missed the big one, but we got there in the end. And man, this looks so bloody good. Oh, what a brekkie. Alright, well I've just finished up brekkie, and yeah, I'm not really sure what I want to do, because I had intended on spending the rest of the sort of morning up until lunchtime just fishing, but this wind's really picked up now, and I typically don't enjoy fishing in the wind. So what I might do is I'll just pack down all my gear and then see if it dies down a bit, and hopefully we can get in a little bit more fishing. But I'm a little bit disappointed because it wasn't forecast to be as windy as it is, but it's really picked up. It's like quite strong winds at the moment. So anyway, we'll pack down the gear and then see what we want to do. Alrighty guys, well the gear's all packed up and the wind hasn't exactly died down. It's still coming through a little bit gusty, but I reckon it'd be a bit of a waste if I didn't give the fishing just another little crack. So what I've done, I've chucked on this little paddle tail, and I actually found this little jig head walking along the banks yesterday, which was a really good find because, as I mentioned to you guys, I left my cod lures at home, so I had minimal gear, and so this has allowed me to put on this soft plastic which I had in there. So anyway, let's go walk the banks and fingers crossed we can come up with something.
It felt good to have capitalised on the fishing, but if there's one thing I've learned doing these trips, it's that it's not about what you do or don't catch, but the experiences you make and the places that fishing can connect you to along the way. These places are a privilege to be able to explore, and I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to experience them. Coming home from these trips leaves me with the utmost respect for the plants, animals, and fish species that inhabit them. I hope that by sharing my experiences, more people feel encouraged to get outside and explore these wild regions, because that respect and appreciation is exactly what's needed to ensure these places remain available and intact into the future.
Alright guys, well unfortunately I got my lure stuck on a submerged log, The only other thing I have that I could throw on is a top surface lure. I think just given how windy it is and how late in the day it is, it's probably not worth my while, so might wrap things up. But I have really enjoyed every second of being down here in this ancient granite country. I always love coming out west in search of Murray Cod, and it was really good to get onto one as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hooroo.